What's up everyone, it's me again, Shaira Lokmal. So previously, Shaira read through a book written by Yasmin Mogahed. It's called Reclaim Your Heart. So hari tu Shaira went through the first chapter, which is called Attachments. The first part was called Why Do People Leave Each Other? So hari ni Shaira akan go through the second part, which is When people leave, do they return? Mesti semua orang tertanya-tanya kan. So first thing first, hari tu Shaira buat poll. I tanya dekat semua orang, when people leave, do you think they will return? So 40% said yes, and 60% said no, they do not return. Okay, so let's see the answer after this. I'm as excited as you are. Let's get started. So, the ultimate question, when people leave, do they return? Or, in other words, bila Allah tarik sesuatu yang kita sayang, adakah Allah akan pulangkan balik? Atau ada maksud di sebalik pengambilan itu? So, kita akan sentiasa tertanya-tanya. Firstly, in the book, it talked about ujian. Alright, so dia ada bagi satu ayat which goes, verily with hardship comes ease. I did a simple Google search, so it was Surah Al-Inshirah. Now, if we look back at the hardship that we've been through previously, there is also good in it. Question is, which one do you focus on, the positive or the negative of it? We tend to believe there's always a perfectly good in everything, and when it's bad, it's perfectly bad. One thing we have to remember, that the dunya itself is not long lasting. So when it's bad, it's not going to last. You're going to get through it. Also, the dunya is imperfect. So the bad thing that happens to you is imperfect. So when it's imperfect, there must be something good in the bad. Because the only place which is perfectly bad is hell, neraka. And there's no good in it, it's all bad. And the only perfectly good place is Jannah. It's all good and no bad in it. So now we know the concept of in bad situations, there are good that we can take from it. However, being human, we don't know these things. We don't know until we learn. So what are the mistakes that we do is get stuck in the moment of bad times. The way Yasmin explained it was, the way she was feeling at the moment transformed her whole world and everything in it. It's as if it's the ultimate feeling. I'll give you an example. If you are feeling happy, the past, the present, the whole entire world is good at that moment for you. Now, when Yasmin explained this in her book, I remembered a time where I was in Turkey. The last night before we went back to Malaysia, I was there with my family. We were at a park. It was at night, and there was music. We were next to Hagia Sophia, and the coffee was good. My family was there. The environment was so good. I felt like this is it. This is the perfect moment. But in this book, it says perfection could not exist. So that happy moment that I was feeling made me feel or think that perfection could exist in this world. On the other hand, if you're feeling negative, past, the present, the whole world was bad for that moment. I think everyone can relate when something negative happens to you. Everything around it just feels negative. It just makes you want to scream, shout, or cry. Everything triggers you at the time. So this is why we always hear, I'm going to bring out the most famous ayat we hear when we are in an argument. I tak pernah nampak you buat baik, semua yang nampak adalah keburukan saja. Says everyone in a relationship, including me. Why? Why do we feel this way when we are feeling negative? Now the book explains why do you feel that you haven't seen good in that moment is because our feeling at that time defines and becomes everything. Past, the present is rolled up in one experiential moment. However, realizing the concept that I had explained earlier, the dunya is not perfect and it's not long-lasting. Coming to that realization, we tend to change our perspective as how we see that ujian. So we tend to step outside of the situation and see it for what it is. It's just one moment. It is not ultimate. So the bad moment that you're feeling right now is going to pass. As long as there's still tomorrow, there is chance for it to change. So the second concept that we need to learn is Allah takes only to give. Allah mengambil hanya untuk memberi. So now, here's the complicated part. It's crucial to understand that the gifts that He will give you, the thing that He will return, may not be in the form of what you want. Only Allah knows what's best for you, even if you don't want it. The situation might go something like this. I want this. Then Allah says, I'll give you this. No. I want this. This is good. This is good for me. No. I'm going to give you this. Now, no matter how much fact that you put into rationalizing why you want this that is good for you, well, actually Allah knows that this is the best choice that's for you. Little that I know that if I were to have this perfume, it might cause a reaction to my skin. It's not good for me. But then, when I didn't want this, but Allah gave me this because He said this is the best choice for me, doesn't cause a reaction to my skin, and it's the most compatible product that I can use on my skin. So it's the best choice. It's something like that. So we can look at this one ayat, Surah Al-Baqarah. It's possible that you dislike a thing that is good for you and that you love a thing that is bad for you. But Allah knows, you know not. So currently you might be thinking, if He's giving back the thing He takes, why take it in the first place? Dalam buku ni dia jawab, it is in the process of losing that we are given. This book gives you an example. When Allah gives you gifts, we depend on the gifts. When we have all these things, fear starts to kick in. So what happens when fear kicks in? All these gifts given to us. So every moment of every day, we start thinking about all these things that Allah gives us. The heart, which was created to worship Him, alright, this is Allah, is now worshipping all these gifts given to us. So the dependency is not at Allah, it's stuck here. I mean, who doesn't like money, right? And who doesn't like status, power, people? These things are so good that it's really hard to detach from it. How do we free ourselves? So what Allah does is He takes them away. So what happens when all these things that we used to depend on is gone? We need to search for something else so that we can depend on. So what happens is from level 2, we level up. We go up here. The result of Allah taking away the gift is we start to go right back on track towards Him. So answering to the question, when people leave, do they return? The answer is yes, it returns, or sometimes Allah gives something better. This is the most important part that we must learn. The real gift is not in the gift that He returns. The greatest gift is actually underneath the taking and giving. It's the awareness that we focus and we depend back to Allah. Alright guys, so that's it for my video. If you have a comment, please do leave them right down below. Selamat menyambut bulan Ramadan and stay home, stay safe. Bye guys!